This is the Risk Grandnovice Series, where I, a Grandmaster on the free-for-all ladder, share a lower ranked game. From this, hopefully more people will see the game of Risk, newer players can improve their play, and maybe we'll get to see some crazy things. So the main thing to take from this is you don't have to be number one to have fun. This applies to Risk. I mean, this applies a lot more than Risk, but for today, we're just going to be talking about how it applies to Risk. So, going into this game, we are playing World Domination on the map New York. So, I chose the map New York because I saw a lot of classic map options where I was thinking about how I was going to get a lobby filled, and I thought I'd stand out by choosing the map New York instead of choosing the classic map. Ranked, medium AI, 60-second turn timer, card bonus is fixed, dice rolls are balanced blitz, novice to intermediate, alliances, fog of war, blizzards, and portals off, and activity behavior is automated. Very similar to the last Risk Grandnovice Series video, except for we're in New York. So, I don't know a ton about this map, but what I do know is when we look at the bonuses, I don't think anyone's ever going to hold these huge bonuses in the earlier mid game. It's just not going to happen. I think we're going to see some skirmishes over the smaller, easier to secure bonuses, but without teamwork or at least agreements between individuals on who's going to take one bonus, I don't think we're going to see a lot of bonuses being held for the long term. These smaller bonuses, the Bronx and Staten Island, are easier to hold, and I think we'll likely see those being held, but maybe contested. So let's see what happens here. This is really just, this is gonna be chaos, I'm predicting. I did fixed instead of progressive because that would even be more of a carnival. So we are going to take ourselves out here. Honestly, if you're a regular Risk player, you play competitive, yeah, Pink doesn't know what's up. If you're a regular Risk player, sometimes it can just feel good to just not care and to just dump your troops knowing that you have 0% chance of succeeding. So this is a little therapeutic for me. So it's going to look like the pink player is going to make a claim for Manhattan. They are really going to expend a lot of troops in the hopes that it pays off. They're asserting to the other players, Manhattan will be mine. So I would recommend the orange player go for the Bronx. They can stack right here with all of their troops, attack the 3 and move the 6 in. Make a little unspoken agreement between orange and the pink player that, hey, one of us is going to hold the Bronx, one of us is going to hold Manhattan, and from there we're going to push through the game and take the W together, go first and second. But instead, the orange player is going to place their troops over here in Bay Ridge, and it looks a bit like a threat for Staten Island against the purple player. So the orange player is going to come up here, take a card, hopefully bring this 2 to this 4, or this 4 to this 2. It's very odd that to be attacking around like this so much, and from what we've seen from the pink player, this is not going to work out very well. The pink player is going to, I'm guessing, hit these orange stacks right here, these orange 3 stacks. So let's see what happens. What the blue player chooses to do is I think most players are going to end up floating around out here. So I mean, there's more players than there are viable bonuses. So what I have been seeing a lot of in the ranked games I play are a lot of people creating multiple stacks and crawling through the map. I wish I could show my hand just mimicking someone like starting in a corner and crawling throughout the map, leaving stacks behind them as they go. I definitely think this is a good not get last place strategy, but I don't think that's a good I'm going for first place strategy, although I'm seeing it a lot more. And I think maybe as it's tweaked and people figure out when the time to start consolidating troops is, we're going to see that strategy become much more viable, much like we're seeing right now on the classic map, people stacking on the Middle East as being a very, very viable new strategy. So let's see what the red player chooses to do. A lot of people right now should be consolidating troops, which hopefully the red player is about to do that. The red player does not. So you see right now the red player is going to have a 4, a 3, a 5, a 4, a 6, just spread out. See what we're going to do here. Okay. Pink player, they've very much shown the world that they're willing to press through for Manhattan. Let's see if they do what we predicted they would do. So the pink player is going to hit the orange 3 and is going to take a bad roll, and then is going to get a bad roll, and then is going to roll another orange 3 with a 4, and it's not going to succeed. Really, the pink player is hurting themselves to almost to getting close to an unrecoverable point, where going for Manhattan is even if they get it, they're only going to be able to hold it because the other players let them hold it. It will be very easy to break, unless we're going to see a trade on 3 from the pink player that is threatening enough for the other players to not want to break that. Although the orange player now, thanks to the pink player, is going to be able to take... Oh, okay. So the orange player had an easy in for the Bronx. Let's see. So they are taking it. That's very good. Now they need to defend it. So continuing to attack is probably not a good idea because the pink player can break through here and then break into the Bronx. So this 11 needs to make a movement maybe, because gosh, right now this is not defendable, not reasonably defendable. You're essentially going to be relying on other players to not break you, instead of saying you won't break me, which on a map like the classic map, not a bad idea to rely on other players not to break you at the higher levels, because breaking you is putting troops into breaking a continent that could be used to secure a continent. But on this map, because there are so few securable continents, why wouldn't someone just break you? They don't want to let you have that, and that's exactly what blue is going to do. Blue is now going to sweep through and is going to take this continent up here and hopefully heavily guard it. But we're going to see if that happens. So they're running out of time, and they may not take that continent, which I think would be very silly. Okay, take the continent, probably do an even split. Let's see, 4-4. Okay, I might even like to see a 5-3. But oh, if that fortification had been able to come through, we could have seen a 5-4 split or 4-5 split. But that's not going to happen. But I also don't see any players breaking this. Any player that chooses to break this right now is probably not going to be taking 100% roll to try and do it. And this is a great opportunity for the purple player to take this continent over here, to take Staten Island, because taking Staten Island also took me out. Okay, great opportunity to take Staten Island. Once again, any rolls to try and stop you from having Staten Island right now don't look like they're going to be 100% rolls, and so not safe roles to take, but the red player looks like they might try it. Is the red player going to take the 7 on 4 and try? Yes, and it is going to fail. So at this point, unless the blue player has a trade and that trade goes into the purple player, it is very unlikely that anyone is going to be able to break. So if you look at this, red is putting this 4 here. Now this 4, if someone else wants to try and break it, they have to go through this 4, or they have to go, you know, through this orange 1. Orange can't go back through their own 1. Maybe there was a world where this 6 was moved out of the way so the orange player could come in, but orange has other things to worry about right now, like the pink player and just their not great decision making so far. So let's see what happens. Putting 3 troops here and rolling it on the 6 is just not going to work. Just not going to work. With this 4 being here, and with this 3 being here, essentially purple is guarded. So instead of attempting to break blue or attempting to break purple, the orange player is going to choose to see what happens. Attack pink a lot. So the orange player should probably hope that pink doesn't have a trade on 3. So if the orange player has a trade on 3 and the pink player does not, it is very possible the pink player will soon be eliminated. We'll see what the blue player chooses to do, because what the blue player chooses to do right now, and they're in a great spot relative to most of the other players. If the purple player has a trade, they'll be about even. They're in a great spot relative to other players. So putting your troops here when you've got this 1 right here locks these troops in. And there's no other entrance to here besides here or your other stack here. But putting this 10 here and attacking this orange 1, now you're going to split your stacks and someone could try and come through here. We don't know if that's going to happen. And actually, the blue player creates another roaming stack over here. Are they going to try and break purple with it? I don't think that's a good idea. But they're going to try it. Let's see if it works out. A 7 on 6, which is a 6 on 6. No, they don't take the roll. Now the purple player, see what they choose to do. It doesn't seem like they have a, they do have a trade in. It is a big trade. They are going to, oh my gosh, are they about to smack red for trying to smack them? The red player is not likely going to be eliminated right now. The splits just aren't going to make it that easy to do. It looks like they are going to just guard themselves, and you'll see how the, oh, they're gonna make that guard heavier over by the blue 7, which is a good idea. But see, even though it's not a part of the bonus over here, these 2 territories are part of separate continental bonuses. There's no reason right now not to stack here, because if they were to stack here but had a territory right here, they've locked in their own 11. Now their 11 is able to go out throughout the world, unlike this 11, which cannot go anywhere as long as this is right here, their own blue territory, because they can't go through their own territory. They have to fortify through it. They cannot attack through it. So the pink player did not have a trade on 3, and they are primed to be removed by the orange player. Now, unfortunately, they are going to be really at the mercy of blue, because blue is now strong enough where they could say, yeah, no, you don't get to hold that, you know? So we're going to see what happens. Does the orange player even try to defend their bonus against the blue pair? Or do they just hope? Do they just hope? See what happens. Orange player does have a trade. I didn't catch what size trade that is. It was a 10 trade plus 2 bonus troops for holding Midtown, which is right here. So they're gonna put those troops right here. Please don't roll blue though. I don't think that is a good idea, because that is giving a heavy advantage to the purple player. And oh, okay, they didn't roll blue, which is very good, because that's essentially mutually assured destruction. Blue could choose to attack you and hurt you quite a bit, but really that is giving a huge advantage over to the purple player. So it looks like we're going to see some friendship going on here. And what's really cool is when we're talking about not being able to attack through your own troops and putting yourself in a position where you're able to attack others, instead of putting a stack here and a stack here to try and guard the entrance into either one, you just put the stack right here, and now somebody has to come. You can combine those stacks to have a larger one. Unfortunately, blue is going to attack orange instead of work together with orange. Orange may have a trade on 4, and the blue player should expect that that trade on 4 goes into them, which is going to give the game to the purple player. Now, the red player is still in the game, is still here, can still do something. They have 4 cards, so they might be able to pull a big trade out, and their attempt to attack purple earlier may be an indicator that they're going to attack purple again with their trade, possibly break that continent. But really, they're not consolidated. They're so spread out, which is positive for them, but also a negative. Not being so spread out is going to make them a bit harder to remove from the game, but it's also going to make it harder to hit another player with very much force, or even threaten another player. So now the purple player is going to be vulnerable if they don't find a way to cover themselves. So if the red player really wanted to right now, and they do have a big trade, they could come through. They could come down and around. Let's see what they choose to do. They are going to do that. So they're going to go down, and they're going to break the bonus of the purple player. Are they? Yes. Now, here's the thing. Breaking the bonus of the purple player also opened up this 16 stack. And so that 16 stack, we can expect maybe to go into the red player right when purple's turn comes around. So what's going on up here between the blue player and the orange player is the same thing that's going on down here between the red player and the purple player. And the crazy thing is, if people chose to work together, they could get stronger together and take out the other players, but that's not going to happen. That doesn't happen at this level. Orange player is going to take their big old stack. They're going to break the blue continent. Maybe they're even going to go one further. No, okay, so they're not going to attack the 11, but really the blue player needed to expect that to happen, because they really set themselves up for failure when they did that. So the orange player is just attacking around. For some reason they threw some troops into a purple 4, which didn't need to happen. They're attacking more of purple. I don't quite understand the reasoning. Possibly they're trying, yeah, I don't know what the reason for that is. That's possibly them abandoning their continent, abandoning Manhattan, and saying, I know blue's going to come back, I know blue's going to smack me, I don't need to be here right now. So let's see what happens. Does blue stop here, get strong together, or does blue keep attacking? I think blue keeps attacking, and blue keeps attacking. Right. And you know, maybe at this point the right move is to do that, and then secure your, but yeah, fortify back to your bonus, secure that. Right now no one's breaking into that. No one has a stack that can get around to that. Orange has trapped themselves in such a way that they can't get back to that. Nobody has a trade coming up besides maybe you, so no one's going to come in, no one's going to break you, and you're going to come into your next turn with an extra 3 troops for holding that continent. And look at what I said, the purple player is going to attack the red player, essentially ending the red player's game. You know, the red player does have 13 troops, but they have 2 cards, so they're not going to have a trade, and it just doesn't look good for the red player. So let's see if the red player is able to stick it out, maybe get a big trade on 3. The red player is not giving up. They are saying, I don't want you to hold that. You don't get to hold that. And I'm not quite sure why. But sometimes you get into this cycle that's hard to break out of, this mental cycle of we're enemies now. and I'm going to hurt my game to hurt you. And sometimes that can hurt you quite a bit. So do we think the orange player kind of attacking a little crazily? Okay, they do not have the troops to take out red, so the orange player puts themselves in a very weak position. And if it keeps going like this, it's going to turn into Staten Island with the purple player and the Bronx with the blue player, and we can expect the blue player to take Manhattan, which would give them 8 bonus troops, and Staten Island only having 3. We may see the blue player take that route and take the W. We may also see the blue player try and take one of the larger bonuses, which more likely the queens, but that's going to be very hard to hold because the purple bonus has direct access to it through the southernmost part of the map. So let's see what happens. They are going to take another bonus for themselves. And it's very dangerous to do. I don't think they should expect to defend it. But if it works out, it works out, and that's great. See if the purple player has a trade. Oh, so they're going to back out and actually let the purple player's 14 out? Is that what's going to happen? No, because they cannot actually pull that 7 back to defend their territory, their continent, because there's no connection here. So they cannot fortify out of here. So let's see what happens. It's interesting the purple player chooses not to break the blue player when that is their closest competition for winning this game. And they're lining themselves up. They were lining themselves up to take the red player, just like the orange player was lining themselves up to take out the red player. But the red player has a trade on 3. It's very upset the orange player has chosen to hit them and is going to hit them very hard back, ruining both of their games. Seemingly, we'll see. You never know. Is going to take the non-100% roll of the 3-on-1, is going to win it, and they are really beating orange. If orange doesn't have a big trade, it's bad news for orange because they're going to be sitting on 3 or 4 cards with okay, so they do have a trade. Lots of trades on 3 today. Big trades on 3 today, which is amazing. And we're going to see the orange player attacking the red player back. This is essentially a fight for 4th place, for 3rd place, I suppose. And it's very interesting. I think the orange player could stop right now, maybe attack one more. Yeah, attack one more, withdraw your troops, fortify them to a place that's not threatening, and oh, so they're just going to go for it. This is very unlikely to work, but with the right dice, it can happen. So let's see what happens. A 5, take out 5, it's just not going to happen. So they, while orange could have set themselves up to, yeah, with that, they can't split. No. Okay. Orange could have set themselves up to have a very solid 3rd place, but instead they are going to put themselves at the mercy of the blue and the purple player on which one they want to take out first, and they both on sitting on 1 card. The red player is going to be a better return on investment, and honestly the blue player could try and take out both of them, but that's not really going to be worth it because you're going to be expending you know, the orange player has 18 troops, 16 territories, all that for 1 card. That's not worth it. Just take out, either hit the purple player really hard, but the purple player might have a trade on 4, or take out the red player, or take a card and pass and let the purple player take out probably the red player, because there's already a beef between those individuals. I might like to see this 7 attack up and then pass, or this 19 attack this 14 severely cripple purple, and that's exactly what we're going to see happen. I would say this is a good move, I think, for the blue player for long-term winning the game. All depending on what purple player chooses to do, that may secure the W for the blue player. See if the purple player has a trade on 4 that they want to use. They're thinking there's a few things they could do. Looks like they don't have a trade on 4. Oh, they do have a trade on 4, but they've taken so long, so much of their turn to do this. And an 11 on 11 is not 100% roll. So we're going to see if that 16 comes around, smacks the 11. Okay, taking out the red player right now when you have the troops to either break the bonuses of the blue player or... So here's the deal. The red player right now was not a threat to the to the purple player. The red player was not a threat to the purple player. At most, the orange player and the red player are going to fight each other. The worst case scenario is blue cleans them up, but if you smack blue hard enough, you can try and stop that. A mid case scenario is they attack each other, don't take either of each other out, or the orange player takes the red player out, and then they're just sitting on easier cards to take from them. Wouldn't it have been nice if the red player had taken a card, was sitting on 2 cards, and then you're able to grab that and put yourself at 5 cards with taking out the red player, and then you have a trade in, and then you're back in the game now. But at the way it sits, the blue player has the momentum to take the W. Let's see what the blue player, the blue player has the momentum to take W. Let's see what they choose to do. If they just keep smacking purple and the orange player and the purple player can't work together on this, see what happens here. I might like to see this 5 move up and then defend that instead of having 2 small stacks right here. The 8 does move out, but the 8 should not be trapping itself in like this. It just shouldn't, because now that 8 can't come out through itself. It can just sit there. Nobody's going to touch it. If anybody touches it, like, if anybody touches your 8 here, they're also going to touch your 8 here. Like, it's just... Okay, so the purple player is smacking back, and if anyone touches your 8 here, they're planning on smacking you. But you've essentially made yourself 8 troops less active on the board, which is frustrating. So, see what the orange player chooses to do. There isn't really any bad blood between the orange player and the purple player. So I'd like to see, for the purple player's sake, hitting orange a bit more, but for some reason orange is going to keep hitting purple. I'm not sure why. Okay, so they are also going to hit blue. And they're going to hit blue again. So let's see if they put themselves at a high troop count. So at 17 troops, they're going to be getting 2 bonus troops, which is also, I mean, that's decent. That's decent if you're able to hold 15 territories the next time your turn comes up. You get those 2 bonus troops for holding the 1 bonus troop for holding 12 and the next bonus troop for holding 15. But it's a very real possibility blue is about to knock them not only under... Now see, imagine if this 8 was active. Imagine if this 8 was right here, the stack they could have made right here. Oh boy. But instead of having a 16 plus 8 stack, they're just going to have a 16 and a 10 stack. So they added 2 here, so it'd be an 18 plus 8. So it looks like they're going to break into purple, which is the right move. Purple, even if they have a set, probably can't recover from this. The balance of the game has been broken in the blue player's favor. If we see some magical working together, some magical 2v1 where the purple player has a big trade, the orange player has a big trade, they both work together, they stop the bonuses from being held, the continental bonuses from being held by the blue player, the balance can come back, and the board would look like a mess, but there would be balance, which is interesting to think about. So right now, that's not going to happen. That working together, that teamwork's not going to happen. What the purple player needs to do is focus on taking second place. So the orange player is so spread out and the blue player is pointed at the purple player. So the orange player right now is kind of poised to take second place. So good for them. The purple player can put their troops in such a way that they can make it so the orange player gets taken out. This, I was going to say something, but I figured it just wouldn't happen. Attacking right here is a very bad idea because it's going to open up this 10. It's going to open up this 10. Now, if they had put their 5 right here and attacked this way, it's not going to open anything up except for one of these stacks that already are out and available to the world to come through. And it looks like they actually attacked over here and had a successful roll. So good for them. They've taken a card, they've hidden a stack away, and they're setting themselves up to take second place. Let's see what the blue player chooses to do and how the purple player will respond, being unlikely that the blue player takes out the purple player right now. Although if they can, they will get 5 cards, they'll get a force trade in, and they'll be able to move in and take out orange or get very close to taking out orange. So let's see if blue player wants to and is able to take out the purple player. Their turn is over halfway over. It has already been 30 seconds before they've even started making any moves. So I don't think they'll have the time to do it, but let's see what happens. The blue player is going to choose not to try and take out the purple player. So the purple player is going to get a trade. Let's see what size trade it is. We've seen a lot of big trades. So, and we're going to see another big trade. Let's see what they do with it. So right now, purple has 2 choices. Hit orange really hard or hit blue and hope purple and orange can work together. So, or do none of those things, which is still, so now essentially it is going to be up to blue on who they want to give second place. So we've had that bad blood between orange and blue, but I think orange is in a good out of the way position where blue is not currently pointed at them. So what do? Maybe add 2 troops right here, attack down, fortify away. The rest of your troops will go right here. So 2 troops to make it 100% roll on one of these ones, preferably here. So you're not giving orange a taste for your color, or giving purple a taste for your orange color. And fortify away, maybe to right here. Let's see what happens. Stay tucked away, hidden away, far away. Because right now it's a fight. It's almost a fight for second place. Now orange players, but not doing anything. Orange player doesn't seem like they're doing anything. Oh boy. So the orange player had a small trade on 4 and it's going to be spread out. It looks like the bot, if given the choice, was going to break this territory, which would be great for the purple player. But now it's the blue player's turn. The balance long ago, several rounds ago, broken in their favor. They're still adding troops to their, okay, they're not going to add troops, so they're trapped at 10. Thank goodness. And remember what I said, instead of needing 2 stacks here to defend this entrance, put 1 big stack right here. Wouldn't hurt anything at all. Blue player is going to take a card and pass. Very odd choice. At least bring this 20 out. At least bring this 20 out. Okay. Okay. Don't do that then. Don't do what I say. Don't do it. I don't care. I don't care. Make this game longer and harder than it has to be. But that's not their fault. So it's possible that the blue player says, I don't want to be close to this 18, which this 18 has access to them. This 18 has access to them, whether the 20's here, the 20's here. And keeping the 20 here doesn't further defend this continent, because if someone breaks right here but doesn't break right here, that 20 has no access to anything. And if you've trapped yourself in, now you can't really respond to your continent being broken. But let's see what the bot chooses to do. The bot chooses to not break any continents. This bot might actually try and take this continent, although I don't think it'll happen this turn, because it would have to attack all the way down around. So it does not happen. The bot doing just as well as the orange player when it was human. So still stacking troops on that trapped 20. Very odd. But the blue player doubling close to doubling, a little under doubling both of the other players' troops combined. Okay, that 25 comes out. I think we might finally see big moves. The orange player being severely broken down. The blue player with their huge advantage leaves three troops behind for some reason. Okay, leaving little stacks around. So, not an awful idea if they're worried about if they're trying to card block the bot or push the bot into the purple player, but just the advantage is so huge. But let's pretend it's not a huge advantage. Let's pretend the purple player is pretty scary. Putting in little stacks and then trying to force the orange bot into purple, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. So the purple player does have a big trade on 4. What are they going to do with it? They can secure second place, or they can antagonize the blue player, or they can choose to do nothing, which kind of still secures second place as long as the blue player doesn't feel too threatened by this. The bot is going to have to choose to add somewhere. I imagine we're going to see some attacking down here on the purple player, maybe some attacking around here, or it's going to trap itself right here because it wants to be touching this big 33 stack. We're going to see movement right here to secure at least one card with the territory take. And really, the bot, okay, the bot rolls that. I thought the bot might roll one of the 6s. Blue player, this is your time. Secure the win. Take your victory lap. It's funny because you think, well, blue player has all these troops, but really, they only have 5. Whatever 5 plus 12 is 17. Gosh, they've trapped themselves so hard right now. They had less than 40 troops actively able to move around the map. How many troops do they have trapped? Maybe that's a better question to ask. Look at this. 20 troops trapped here, 9 troops trapped here, 5 troops, 4 troops, 4 troops, 6 troops, 10 troops, 10 troops. Look at all these troops that are trapped and are not active on the map. It's crazy and very not efficient. And if you consider that, you might be thinking, well, the blue player is winning, so how is it really that bad of a tactic to make if they've been doing this tactic and they are winning? But really, the blue, that's a horrible way to think of it. And the purple player is essentially angering the blue player and not securing second place. So there are lots of times when people win on accidents, people win from poor strategies, or should I say, maybe less than optimal strategies, but they still take the W. At the end of the day, someone's going to take the W in a game. So. Purple player here, maybe putting themselves a bit on blue's bad side. Orange bot having a trade here. It's almost looking like the orange bot is going to be attacking purple exclusively. We'll see. Actually, that 4 trapping that 7 in, that 7 might roll a 5 or 6. The 7 is going to roll down and take out a blue stack, and it's going to roll some more rolls up. But really, now the purple player has more cards and less troops than the orange player. It would be profitable to take out the purple player right now. If you're the blue player, you're going to get a guaranteed trade, and then you can run that into orange. Please, blue player, let's bring some stacks out. Look, your 10 is open. Your 10 is open. Let's get some movement with it. There we go. We're going to do a split here so they can still attack 3. The purple player essentially gave themselves third place. They could have taken They could have taken second place by taking the orange player out of the game, removing them. Instead, they put themselves in a situation where it is profitable to take them out, and they've gotten on blue's bad side. So we're going to see the purple player leave the game now. Thank you for participating. Thank you for playing, and I hope you had fun. You know, there was a point in this game you were at a high of, oh, I'm about to win. I could win. So there's no shame in this. Good for you. Good for you. And now we're going to see, may not have enough time or the right splits. Definitely isn't going to have the right splits to take out the orange player, but the orange player is not going to have a trade, and we're going to see an easy W finish for the orange player. They're able to line up their 9 stack on the rest of the orange player's territories, and I think probably putting it right here would have been better, because the line, because right now, if the orange player had only attacked this way, then I would have came in and had to split. But the blue player is gonna get so many troops, it doesn't matter. The blue player is gonna get so many troops. 32 troops. 32 troops. That is easily enough to finish off the orange player, who botted out, took second place. Look at the blue player utilizing their troops. Okay. Utilizing their troops for sure. And we're going to see the big 48 come on in, take out the orange one with the 100% roll, the easy 100% roll. And our winner is going to be the blue player. They now hold New York. Wow. What are they going to do with it? I don't know. But they were a beginner. So beginner, intermediate, beginner, novice. So the novice ends up taking second place. Good for them. The beginner ends up taking first place. And purple, also a beginner, puts up a fight. And I'll tell you, all these players came in and tried, right? And that's a huge thumbs up from them. You can't give them a thumbs down for that. I hope they had fun, and if you guys go out there and you play some Risk, just remember, you don't have to be number 1 to have fun.